Got shot in the head.
This shit ain't normal.
Someone just got shot in the head.
You mean to tell me the police ain't posted up out here?
They still not posted out here with all these shootings that been happening the last 2 weeks.
Come on, man. Come on, man. I don't.
No, they shot him. They shot him dead.
Today we will discuss M Street versus 7th Street war, and we will also discuss MarrV shot at on live. Again, first we will get into M Street versus 7th. Recently, 7th Street would get bent recently, and the same shooters who bent 7th would bend 37th while YBC Dole was up there. The shooters would kill one man around 7th Street and leave 2 others injured. Police in DC said they are searching for the people involved in a triple shooting that left a man dead and 2 others hurt Wednesday night in Northwest. Police said just before 9:30 p.m., officers responded to gunshots near the intersection of 7th and O Streets NW. There, officers found 2 men who had been shot. Police said both men were rushed to the hospital where one of them died. The second man is being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. A third man walked into a hospital for further treatment of non-life-threatening injuries. Police said they were searching for a car, pictured below. 7th Street and Da Borda, aka M Street, has been beefing for a while, and allegedly 7th Street is getting the belt according to the streets. But I would recently do a video called Nightmare on M Street, and the streets would say that the double homicide on M Street was 7th work. Rel would also be dissed by the Washington View youngins from behind bars. They would post saying what happened to Buddy, and shortly after that I would receive messages saying a lot of things, and then later that same day Washington View would get their rip bent and one person would be hit with shit, as we all know. Washington View and Da Borda are beefing, and Washington View is recent Fox 5 recruits. Young Threat would also diss Da Borda in his song called 7 Dead Ops. So do you think that Da Borda bent 2 rips one day and hit Young Threat? And also 7th Street goes by KDP, Kennedy Park, and Baby J-Mo has some good men around Kennedy Park. Also, his fallen man Glock from DayZ died trying to spin Da Borda. This would cause beef between Fox 5 and Da Borda. Now that we know all this, do you think that from Da Borda was killed for Young Threat getting shot and 7th getting there? Rip fucked up?
Here's a live look at that scene. You can see this is at the intersection of 7th and O Streets near the convention center. Police tell us at least one of the 3 men is in critical condition. Now take a look at this with me. The DC Police Department's Real-Time Crime Center releasing this picture right away of a vehicle police are trying to find right now. If you need to take a closer look, we also posted this just minutes ago on our website, WUSA9.com. So I know this picture you're looking at right here is pretty blurry, but it appears to show the back of a Jeep, an SUV there. If you know anything or you recognize this car, police would definitely like to hear from you tonight. And I should point out, it has been a very violent night in DC. Our team working in the newsroom has been keeping track and says, since we saw you at 6 o'clock tonight, 6 people have been shot in DC in 3 separate incidents. That's 6 lives, and the lives of people who love them changed forever. We will stay on top of how police and our neighbors are responding to this violence in our community.
Police are searching for the suspects responsible for shooting 3 people in D.C.
1 man was killed, 2 others injured in Northwest. This was just one of a number of shootings across the city. DC News Now's Liberty Simmons live in Logan Circle with what we're learning about the suspects and that shooting. So Liberty, what can you tell us?
Janaya and Corey, just one look at this scene and you can see how recklessly and furiously this shooter just sprayed this entire neighborhood with bullets. Just take a look at this bullet hole right here that shattered the window of this Jeep. Now, we're seeing at least 6 cars in this one neighborhood have been shot up, and we also see a shell casing at the scene. Now, right over here is yet another vehicle. Now, the family who owns this car, they told me that they're sad because they just purchased this vehicle 3 weeks ago, and now you're seeing a bullet hole through the hood, through the windshield, and the side of the car as well. Now, the police chief is calling this senseless violence, and now police are searching for the car they believe was involved. So take a good look at your screen. Do you recognize this vehicle? Metropolitan Police say they are looking for a silver Jeep Grand Cherokee, and now officers were called here to O Street and 7th Street Northwest just before 9:30 11:30 p.m. and they found 2 men suffering from gunshot wounds here. 1 victim did die. Now, the second suffered non-life-threatening injuries, and they say a 3rd man walked into an area hospital with gunshot wounds from that shooting. He is being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. During a press conference, Chief Smith weighed in on this shooting and yet another triple shooting across town.
Both incidents tonight is again senseless violence that continues to happen in our community. This is completely unacceptable, and our detectives will do everything that we can to bring these folks to justice.
And back out here live, you're seeing yet another vehicle with a gun shot through the windshield here. Many neighbors are just waking up to all of this damage. Now, police are urging anyone with information on either of these shootings or the vehicle involved to contact detectives. For now, live here in Northwest D.C., Liberty Simmons, D.C. News Now.
7th also had a fallen man named Hundo IB.
Smoking on IB in your face. I'm smoking on IB. I'm smoking on IB. And that boy Pressure. You don't got no gun on you, you's a bitch.
Who was killed back in 2021, hours after his last Instagram post. He was also a rapper too. Thursday, January 7th, 2021. Detectives from the Metropolitan Police Department's Homicide Branch are investigating a homicide that occurred on Wednesday, January 6, 2021, in the 1300 block of 9th Street Northwest. At approximately 11:34 p.m., members of the 3rd District responded to the listed location for the report of a shooting. Upon arrival, members learned that the victim was seeking treatment at an area hospital for a gunshot wound. After all life-saving efforts failed, the victim was pronounced dead. The decedent has been identified as 20-year-old Ibrahim Sese of Northwest D.C. Only a few months later, suspects would be arrested. Tuesday, March 2, 2021. Detectives from the Metropolitan Police Department's Homicide Branch have announced 2 arrests have been made in a homicide that occurred on Wednesday, January 6, 2021, in the 1300 block of 9th Street Northwest. At approximately 11:34 p.m., members of the 3rd District responded to the listed location for the report of a shooting. Upon arrival, members learned that the victim was seeking treatment at an area hospital for a gunshot wound. After all life-saving efforts failed, the victim was pronounced dead. The decedent has been identified as 20-year-old Ibrahim Sese of Northwest D.C. On Monday, March 1, 2021, pursuant to a D.C. Superior Court arrest warrant, 18-year-old Sean Howard, 3rd of Northeast D.C., was arrested and charged with first-degree murder while armed, felony murder. On Tuesday, March 2, 2021, pursuant to a D.C. Superior Court arrest warrant, 18-year-old Shaquille Bynum of Northwest D.C. was arrested and charged with first-degree murder while armed, felony murder. This case remains under investigation. For the last topic, we will go over MarrV gets shot at on live again the very next day. I don't know what hood bent this time and tried to crack Marquis, but pretty much same shit happened all over again. He thinking he looking sweet, then blacks get fired and the nigga don't even set up the camera to hit back or nothing. He just throw his phone and get the fuck. The streets would react to the second MarrV shooting.
Money, 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 money. That's all I ever hear in this house. This is Petro Game.
That's the end of this video. Like, comment, subscribe.